Welcome to this explainer. I'm so thrilled you're joining me because today we're talking about the absolute lifeblood of entrepreneurship. You know, we all love a really great startup story, right? The brilliant idea sketched on a napkin, the late nights, that sudden amazing breakthrough. But here's the thing. Every successful business, no matter how world-changing that initial idea might be, requires one crucial, undeniable ingredient to actually get off the ground: money. You can't build a castle out of thin air, and you definitely can't build a business without capital.
Think of capital as the essential fuel for your entrepreneurial engine. You might have built this beautiful aerodynamic sports car of a business model, but hey, without gas in the tank, it's literally not leaving the driveway. So the ultimate question every single founder has to face is this: where does the money actually come from? Well, let's dive into this and find out exactly how founders fill their tanks.
Here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, the fuel for your business. Number 2, 5 paths to funding. Number 3, debt versus equity explained. And number 4, choosing your financial strategy.
Let's start right off with Section 1, the fuel for your business, or specifically, why you need capital.
Just picture a typical startup timeline for a second. On day 1, you're starting a new company. You need funds just to exist, to register the business, set up a workspace, maybe build a quick prototype. Fast forward to month 6, hopefully you're gaining some real traction. But now you need money to buy inventory so you actually have something to sell, and you've got to hire employees to handle all that workload. Then look at year 2. You're successful, awesome. So you want to expand to new locations. Every single milestone on this journey requires a fresh injection of cash just to cover your operations and fuel that growth.
So the crucial takeaway here is this somewhat harsh reality. Without enough capital, even the greatest business idea in the world is going to struggle to grow. Ambition is fantastic, sure. A strong work ethic? Mandatory. But ambition and sweat equity alone aren't going to pay your suppliers or keep the lights on. Without financial fuel, your engine is eventually going to stall.
Moving right along to Section 2, 5 paths to funding, exploring your options for raising capital.
First up, we've got personal savings. This is exactly what it sounds like, using your own hard-earned money to start the business. This is the ultimate form of betting on yourself. You're literally looking at your own wallet and deciding to fund your own dream.
Now, there's a profound trade-off here. The pros are massive. You take on absolutely zero debt, meaning you owe nobody a monthly check and you keep full ownership. You are the boss, 100%. But the con? It's incredibly heavy. It's total personal financial risk. If the business fails, that's your safety net disappearing. You keep all the control, but man, you shoulder all the danger.
Path number 2 is the traditional bank loan. You go to a financial institution, borrow a specific amount of money, and agree to repay it over time, plus interest.
Bank loans are popular for a really good reason. The big pro is that they can provide large funding amounts. Need a warehouse? A bank can probably help. However, the cons are pretty strict. Approval is required, which means they're going to scrutinize your business plan and credit. And second, you're burdened with monthly repayments. Good month or terrible month, the bank expects their check on time.
Third, we have investors. This is where you bring in outside allies. Investors provide you with money, but they don't want you to pay it back with interest. Instead, they give you the cash in exchange for part ownership of the business.
Investors can totally change your startup's trajectory. The pros? A genuinely large investment, sometimes millions. But maybe even better, they bring invaluable business guidance. They want you to succeed. The con, of course, is that you have to share ownership. You're no longer the sole decision maker.
Then there's crowdfunding, our 4th path. This is a wonderfully modern approach. Instead of asking one bank for a lot of money, you're raising small amounts of money from many people online. You're rallying a community.
This is absolutely brilliant for a few reasons. The biggest pro is that it allows you to validate your idea. If people pre-order it online, you know it's a winner. Plus, no traditional loan hanging over you. The major con, though, is that it requires strong marketing. If your marketing falls flat, your funding falls flat.
Finally, path number 5, government grants. This is funding offered by governments specifically for eligible businesses.
Founders absolutely love these for one ultimate pro: no repayment. It's essentially free money. But you have to balance that against the harsh reality of the cons. Grants have very limited availability, and the application process is fiercely competitive.
Okay, let's jump into Section 3, debt versus equity explained, the ultimate showdown.
When you strip away all the specific tools, it really boils down to these two heavyweights. With debt financing, you borrow money, you keep full ownership, but you repay with interest, versus equity financing, where you sell part of your business, you get no loan repayments, but you share the profits and the decision-making. It's a constant balancing act between keeping control and gaining financial flexibility.
Which brings us to our final section, choosing your financial strategy, plotting your course.
Notice how the stage of your company naturally dictates your best options. If you're a small startup, your best bets are usually personal savings or crowdfunding. For growing businesses with a proven track record, bank loans become a really viable option. But if you're a high-growth startup trying to conquer the world, you're almost certainly going to need investors.
Before you sign anything, use this simple checklist. Step 1, compare costs. Step 2, assess risks. And Step 3, evaluate long-term impact. Will taking this money actually help you grow or just create friction?
That leads us perfectly to this quote summarizing our entire explainer. Business financing isn't just about getting money, it's about choosing the right source of funding to help your business succeed. The right money comes with the right terms for your specific journey.
We've laid out the blueprint, we've looked at the fuel, the 5 paths, and the big showdown between debt and equity. So I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative question as you look at your own roadmap. Which financing option will you choose? Think carefully, weigh those pros and cons, and choose the path that takes you to the next level. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.